Okie dokie, shall we? Greetings and salutations, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. All right, so welcome to the channel. Gotta take care of a couple stuff here. All right, so this is the deal. In a couple minutes, as soon as everyone starts to float in, I will begin answering questions and pretty much talking about my updated rankings, which I'll show you guys in a bit. I see a bunch of you are already in the chat, getting hard at work and asking questions. Hopefully we can get those answered. So the entire morning's slate of, whatever news you want to call it, pretty much thus far surrounded around weather is trash. What do I do? Because the Jets, Philadelphia, New England, all of them are they're probably all terrible, actually. So that's tough. All right, but anyway, now that I've kind of let it catch up a little bit, we're good. There's a little bit of a delay, but all is well. I think we'll be fine. All right, here we go. Shall we do it? Let's do it. You guys ready for it? Hope you guys are. Oh God, I'm so tired. Eyes. This is what you look. This is the look of 3 hours of sleep. It's not even a sleep. It's like a nap, pretty much. Oh, goodness. All right, so there are so many injured players this week. There's so many questionables and there are so many outs. So what has been confirmed as of what I've seen: Juju, Connor, Stafford, obviously Vernon Davis, Evan Ingram, Brett Ellison, Adam Shaheen, Devontae Freeman, Austin Hooper, Mohamed Sanu's doubtful. So I'm probably leaning towards he's out. AJ Green's out, and then Matt Breida is also doubtful. In terms of the questionable side, we have Nelson Aguilar, who hasn't practiced all week long. Alshon Jeffrey, who's kind of tippy-toed towards being questionable and iffy towards tonight's game and not playing potentially, which would be a shame because then there's no wide receivers for that team. They're going to have to throw the tight ends, which would boost, already boosted Zach Ertz to the number 1 and Dallas Goedert to the number 7 tight end spots. So those guys will be feasting accordingly. Then we have Tyler Lockett, who is still a little bit questionable with the contusion on his shin. I think it's probably a hematoma. I've had one in the past. Not comfortable unless they drain it and take care of it quickly. That thing is a reoccurring injury. George Kittle, the information that I've heard is that he played through a broken ankle or some bone broken in his foot a couple weeks back, and that he's likely to not play today. If that's the case, I have already put Ross Dwelley as the number 8 tight end, so he's a good option for a pick-up and play. For those of you who are Kittle owners, or perhaps not Kittle owners but need a tight end play, Deebo Samuel, still questionable with a shoulder. I think he'll be fine. Manuel Sanders probably still play. Philip Dorsett, who would be my number 36 wide receiver. I took him off of that spot because he's also doubtful. I have him twice on the list for no reason. Whatever. T.J. Hawkinson, Kittle is twice on the list. Whatever. That's what happens when you wake up early in the morning and you don't know what the hell is going on, and you're trying to just figure it all out. Okay, so, oh my God, my eyes. It's so bright, dude. I got to turn off this light, but then everything is just, okay, regardless. Hopefully this answers your guys' questions. Am I tired? Yes. How's my day? It just began an hour, probably not an hour ago. Maybe, it's about an hour ago. But sleeping at 4 a.m. is not fun, but kind of is. You know what I mean? There's a give and take. And I'm willing, to lose some hours. It's not a problem. It's fun. Get it done. All right, so let's see what we got. What are we doing? All right, let's go ahead. A couple questions need to be answered. I'm going to get to the chat in a second. A couple people dropped some donations already. K Visionary, thank you for the donation. Much appreciated. Flex Amari Cooper or Devontae Parker in a full PPR. I would probably play Devontae Parker this week. I have a hard time trusting Amari Cooper against his secondary, and Devontae Parker has been extremely consistent in a full PPR setting. Half PPR setting doesn't really matter. He's just been consistent this year, so I'd probably play him and be really happy with the decision. Amari Cooper, the only reason I'm a little concerned about him, when they're going to double cover him the entire game, it's going to make it really difficult. I heard it's probably going to rain there as well, which will probably lead to a back and forth running game. Sonny Michel, excuse me, what? And they might, kind of just hold Cooper, to a limited amount of play because, to be honest, he's still dealing with injuries and they need him for the rest of the season. So I'm going to go with Devontae Parker. Thank you for the donation. Chris with the donation says, hey, Andrew, I need an RB2 and a tight end and a flex for a half PPR. So let's see what you got. You have David Montgomery, Singletary, Golladay, Crowder, Hollister, and Cook. So I'm definitely playing Hollister over Jared Cook this week. And then in terms of an RB2 between the bunch there, probably going with, I think it's David Montgomery, easy clap. And then probably, where do I have Crowder? Crowder and Golladay are back-to-back. Now, if you're someone that is worried about, it's not about worry. If the weather is bad enough in New York to where this game is unsustainable to where they no longer can pass the ball, then the value of Jamison Crowder diminishes greatly. While on the other hand, I think it's in Detroit. Let me see. Where's the schedule? No, it's in Washington, so that might be a rain game too. Let me see Washington's rain. No, you know what? Really, interestingly enough, over there is not that bad. But honestly, I want to play Crowder. I have a hard time leaving Crowder on my bench. Scored 3 touchdowns. In the past 3 weeks, he's been super consistent. But if you're, a little weary about that, I don't think Golladay is that bad of a play. I think he's actually a great play for a comeback week candidate. So yeah, so we go Montgomery, we go Golladay if you're, not opposed to that, and then probably Hall. So that's probably the safest way to run it today. Thank you for the donation, Chris. Israel Trejo with the donation says pick 2. Terry McLaurin, Emmanuel Sanders, Brandon Cooks, James Washington, and a full PPR. All right. It's pretty similar in full PPR, half PPR in terms of who do I prefer. I'm probably playing Brandon Cooks and James Washington. I like the idea of Emmanuel Sanders. I still think he's probably a little hurt. Deebo Samuel will probably get majority of the targets for this team today. Terry McLaurin is a little sketchy play. I don't really want to touch him because I don't really trust the quarterback very much. And that all in itself pretty much deters me from having any sort of confidence in playing him. I have him as a number 34 wide receiver because he's always capable of having that upside of a touchdown or a couple big plays here and there because the quarterback has a cannon. He gets behind the defense, he can score, a touchdown for 70 yards. It's always possible. But personally, I'd rather go James Washington and Brandon Cooks this week in a full PPR. Thank you for your donation. Eric says, full PPR, Gurley or Samuels. I have Barkley and Jacobs. All right, that's an interesting decision we have to make here, huh? Because Samuels is going to get a lot of work, especially against Cincinnati. He'll probably have himself a pretty decent week. Obviously, the question is whether or not Samuels is a touchdown kind of guy. And then we have Gurley against the Ravens at home on Monday night, which is also a little sketchy. Monday... Here's the thing. Todd Gurley, for as bad as sometimes... look, I'm a Rams fan. And when I see them, just looking like garbage, it makes me feel like, all right, I have to 100% just bag on Gurley. But he scored, a touchdown in 2 of the last 3 games? They've used him, at a pretty big increase in the last couple of weeks. But it's not too much to where I'm like 100% convinced. He's never going to catch a pass. Against Baltimore, I probably won't run the ball. Honestly, in a full PPR, I might go Samuels. In a full PPR, because Samuels has the ability, and he has done it before where he's caught the ball 8 times in a singular game, that in itself is so valuable. He doesn't even need yards. Yards is just like the gravy points on top. If he catches the ball, 6-7 times for 43 yards, and then finds himself in the end zone, like the dude makes himself not only that, safe 12-point play, but kind of gets himself any sort of upside. So in a full PPR, even though I love Gurley, and probably would. Okay, so here's my deal. If it's my league, I leave Gurley and I don't even worry about it and let him play because he's my stud and I drafted him to play as such, and I'm gonna do it like that. But if you're looking for who is probably got the better upside between the two, and in a full PPR would looks like it could score more, it's probably Samuels. But I'm just gonna throw Gurley in there. Thank you for the donation, Eric. Matt B says John Brown or Gallup. They're both really okay. You know what? Where do I have John Brown right now? I got John Brown at 20. Gallup should be lower probably. Where is Gallup as of right now? Gallup's at 16. I don't mind that there, but if it actually rains today in Foxborough, that's going to be a problem. That's the whole thing. Whether it rains or not. Here's the thing about John Brown. Like, unless John Brown has Stephon Diggs kind of week like Stephon Diggs had last week against his defense. Unless he has one of those weeks, he's going to have 10 points in a half PPR. But you play full PPR, so he probably has 12 points. So they're probably both like 12-point safe plays at this point. So who has the upside? I'm assuming it's Gallup. But if it does rain, it goes 100% to John Brown. So if you're just looking to kind of just avoid any sort of rain potential and anything that'll kind of kill the value of your player, just go with John Brown in that case. Ozzy says, drop Singletary for Samuels, ? Will Connor play again? Connor will play again. I wouldn't drop Singletary for Samuels because you'd be dropping a starting running back for a guy that would eventually be the backup. So I would look to find some other way to pick up Samuels if you're looking to play him over Singletary this week. Mark Hall says, I have Wentz and Carr, Waller, Hollister. Also have Jacobs starting Zeke. We talked about this, Mark. We talked about it. You're a Patreon, dude. We talked about this. I swear I sent you a reply. Let me see. I'm almost positive. Now, maybe if you're just trying to show the love again. Yeah, I responded earlier today. Like 30 minutes ago. But anyway, if you're trying to show the love, I do appreciate it. Like I mentioned, I'd play Carr over Wentz, Hollister over Waller, and then still, run that Jacobs and Zeke combo. Because you already had Jonathan Williams with a huge night on Thursday. You know what's insane? The amount of touches that they gave Jonathan Williams was unbelievable. I hadn't seen them give a guy like Marlon Mack that many touches, and he was just 3 down back getting after it. Big Jim Jean says 2 questions. I have Wentz, Darnold, and Foles in a 2 QB league, 6 point per passing touchdown, my favorite. Okay, pick 2, and then it says okay. So let's get that settled, right? Between those 3, I'd probably go Wentz and Darnold, and leave Foles all right. Now, if you're like I'm a little sketched out about it, to be honest, Foles is not a preferred play. I'm sure they'll run the ball. I'm sure they'll pass the ball a good amount to DJ Chark. But I'd probably go Wentz and Darnold. And then you have James White, Robert Woods, and Jalen Samuels. I played Jalen Samuels with the flex, 100%. Not even close. Big Jim, thank you for the donation. Greg Daughtry says, thoughts on Foles this week? There you go. Him or Daniel Jones? I'd rather play Daniel Jones this week. Daniel Jones will have Saquon, who will probably dominate on the ground, and will open up a little bit of help for the plethora of wide receivers. I mean, Daniel Jones will now have Darius Slayton, who's pretty damn good, Golden Tate and Sterling Shepard all in the lineup this week. So a little bit more inclined to play him against Chicago. Yeah, I understand it's a tougher matchup than probably Tennessee, but I just prefer it. Okay, I'm going to come to the YouTube chat right now. All right, guys, last question. Here we go. JP says flex, half PPR, Geis, Metcalf, or Debo. Hold up. Where do I have... why am I... Okay, there is that, and there's that. And then we have Geis. I'm probably in a half PPR. In a half PPR, I'm probably playing Debo. I'll probably go like Debo. Yeah, I'll probably go Debo, Metcalf, and Geis. Debo, Metcalf, then Geis in that order. JP. All right, thank you for the donation. Okay, here we go. YouTube chat, I'm coming. Here we go. Let me change the view. We'll come back to this in a second. I just want to make sure everyone's on the same page. All right, really quickly, Matt B came in with a donation. Says, how about John Brown or Bo Scarborough? Scarborough's like a 12-point play in a half PPR, probably with no receptions. So he's probably going to get a touchdown, and he's probably going to get 60 yards like he did last week. John Brown, on the other hand, a little bit more volatile, has the higher ceiling, but it still has that 10-point floor in a half PPR. So, to be honest, if you're looking for upside, John Brown's probably the way to go. If you're looking for the safe play, you just need points. Bo Scarborough, thank you for the donation. All right, let's go ahead. Let's do it. Oh, my goodness, guys. Big Jim Jean coming back again. Still recommend Wentz, ? Alshon and... Wait, where are we at? Where's Big Jim's earlier question? Yeah, you know what? Where's my rankings? Where do I even have Wentz? Where's my Google Doc? No, you're right, Big Jim. I don't even know what I'm doing. Honestly, right now, I've fallen asleep a little bit at the wheel. Yeah, Wentz has Alshon out, Nelson Aguilar out, Jordan Howard out, and Lane Johnson, which is their right tackle. So, no, yeah, you're right. Play Nick Foles and probably play Darnold and just leave Wentz on the side. Yeah, my bad. At least you corrected me there. All right, where's Chris at? Chris says, what up, Andrew? Should I play Josh Allen over Rodgers? Or should I flex Jalen Samuels over Singletary? Yeah, Jalen Samuels should go over Singletary, in my opinion. And I would probably play Rodgers over Allen. I don't mind playing Allen this week, but I think Rodgers is the better play. Thank you for the donation. Okay, here we go. YouTube chat. I'm not lying. I'm coming. We're going to get this done right now. I have to move a couple things over. I need to buy a second monitor. Thank God it's Black Friday in a couple days, right? Am I right? Alrighty, here we go. Let's scroll this sucker up. Brooke Robbins says, Marquise Brown. Okay. First of all, shout out to Canada. Marquise Brown or Gallup. Probably go Gallup this week. Jerry says, Renfro, Miles Sanders, or Jamal Williams. I'd probably play Miles Sanders. Jordan Howard's going to be out. And likelihood is Miles Sanders gets the ball a lot. Renfro doesn't bother me at all, and neither does Jamal Williams. I prefer the usage that Miles Sanders is probably going to get, and I think he has a higher upside than all three of these guys who probably have similar safe floors. So, yeah. All right. Let's just start from here, shall we? Hopefully there's no... Okay, so this should be already answered, right? This is in the rankings. Like the rankings that I had up earlier, just rewind the video and it should answer your question. Because everything is pretty much set there. And the answer is I think the answer is Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, and Odell, just to help you out even more, Zeus, man. Gallup or Tyrell Williams. In a standard, that's tough. That's actually tough. It's probably this. Who has a higher upside of a touchdown? That's the question. I'm thinking Gallup just has a higher upside of just yardage. I don't know about touchdowns. Touchdowns are kind of difficult to predict, so I'd probably just still go with Gallup. Between these three, pick two: Josh Gordon, DJ Moore, or McLaurin. Yeah, I'd probably go with DJ Moore and McLaurin. I don't really want to touch Josh Gordon today, unless somehow Tyler Lockett's out. Tyrell or Sanders, flex. I kind of want to play Tyrell Williams over Sanders as of right now. Let's see here. Miles Sanders or Ronald Jones. I would still play Miles Sanders over Ronald Jones. I don't really want to play Ronald Jones today. Debo's getting some crazy hype, but he's not worth a flex over Fournette, right? Yeah, no. I would play Fournette. In a full PPR, honestly, Debo's been amazing, and it's not really hype. It's just pure skill. He's done it for, 3 weeks in a row now? So, in a full PPR, thinking about what Fournette's going to do against Tennessee, yikes. Last time he played against Tennessee, he had 7 rushing yards for, 3.5 quarters until he busted out a 61-yard run. I know Doug Marrone came out and said he's going to run the ball more, but that doesn't mean they're going to be more successful than they were last week. So as of right now, I probably just I'd rather play Debo perhaps even. Yeah, I think that's better to play. Allen Robinson or Cortland Sutton. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's Cortland Sutton. I mean, these questions could be answered literally by looking at rankings. I would probably go Cortland Sutton, to be honest. Josh Allen or Mayfield? Oh, it's Mayfield. It's a flex question. Derrick Henry or Mark? All right, YouTube chat. You spoiled it. There you go. That's it. Just look at those rankings. Coming back over here. Where are we at? M. Paisley88 says, crazy to start Kamara and Murray in a standard. Haha. What's your other option? Because at this point, I don't mind it. And I really do think that Latavius Murray is going to probably have himself a better game than he typically does. I'm thinking he has that 10-point floor. I think he scores a touchdown. I think that's how bad this team blows out Carolina. I think they really put a number on them and then run the clock for a majority of the game, and they don't really need to run Kamara in that second half, fourth quarter, and they can just really barrel down with Latavius Murray. So I don't think it's a crazy idea. Just the question remains, who else do you have? If you have anybody else that's lower than Latavius Murray in my rankings right now, which would be like a, Ronald Jones, Brian Hill kind of noise, all those kind of guys, then sure, in a standard league, you run them and still be fine. I guess, this is half PPR, so it's a little bit more adjusted. So maybe even Latavius Murray takes a jump over like a guy like James White even, or Jamal Williams, who get a lot of work in the passing game. So yeah, I like Latavius Murray a lot this week. I'm maybe the only one, but I do prefer it. Okay, so somebody in the chat said, play George Kittle ? I would not. I wouldn't do it. Let me tell you why. If he played with a broken bone in his ankle, chances are that he's still hurt, because broken bones don't heal in 2 weeks. So what we do, unless someone's going to prove me incorrectly, I don't think George Kittle's playing, and it's probably not smart for a team that has aspirations at a Super Bowl to bring back one of their, if not their only, stud 100% all-pro wide receiver, wide receiver in a tight end's body. We get it. And have him play in this game, which they really don't need him to play in. I get it. Maybe they're trying to get number 1 seed home field advantage, but I don't think they're willing to risk the season on that exactly. So I probably wouldn't play George Kittle. Hopefully everybody heard that, because I don't want to be asked that again. Andrew, should I switch my New England kicker to the Cleveland kicker? Let's see. How good is Cleveland's kicking this year, huh? What am I looking for? I'm looking for Browns statistics, and I'm also looking for what this Shelberg guy, whatever his name is, did this year, has done. Austin Scheibert, whatever. Sheibert, I don't know. I'm tilted. All right. Missed 3 extra points, 16 for 18, field goals. I'm curious, where is his typical... In the last couple weeks, he missed 2 field goals last week against Pittsburgh. Yikes. And then otherwise, he's been pretty decent in the other games. I don't mind him. I'd probably play him. I think they're going to blow out the Miami Dolphins. So there's probably a good chance that he gets a good amount of points there. Mark O with a donation says, standard. Devontae, I'm assuming that's Adams. John Brown, DK, Devontae Parker. Okay, good. Clarified it. Debo and Tyrell, please pick 2. Okay. Devontae Adams, certainly. And the second guy in a standard league, I probably play both Devontaes. To be no, in a standard, yeah, I probably play Devontae Parker and Devontae Adams. That's my suggestion, Mark. In a standard league, that's what I would run with. Thank you for the donation. And then the Patchster with the donation says, Kenny G or Jalen Samuels in a full PPR? Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say Kenny G today. I have a good feeling about this. I think Marvin Jones, Kenny G should both be good plays this week. I think Jeff Driscoll will be pretty good. That's why he's in the top 16 rankings. In fact, at number 14. I think Bo Scarborough will be good. I think there's even a chance that TJ Hawkinson plays well. So, as of right now, I'm going to go with Kenny Golladay. That's my suggestion. Thank you for the donation. Mike Simmons says Josh Allen, John Brown, or Baker Mayfield, and Sterling Shepard. I don't think... Okay, so here's the thing. I would play Mayfield and John Brown. I don't think you need the stack. The stack does not help you in this specific case because I think Mayfield's a better quarterback than Josh Allen this week. So I go Mayfield and John Brown. That's my suggestion, Mike Simmons. Thank you for the donation. All right. So now that we've kind of gone through that, let me go back to this this YouTube chat, shall we, guys? Let's have better questions this time. Let's not have questions that are blatantly answered earlier on. Okay. Start Mayfield. Yes. Ronald Jones or Singletary? I'd rather play Ronald Jones. Ezekiel versus Rain. Start or sit? 100% start, guys. When running backs are playing in the weather conditions, that whether it's rain, thunder, lightning, doesn't matter. They're going to touch the ball 20 plus times in a game because that's just how it works. So it will be a back and forth running game if it rains heavily between Sony Michel and Ezekiel Elliott. Whose offensive line is better? Whose defense is better? That is what is going to be determined today. I would love to play Ezekiel Elliott in those factors. Dak or Matt? I'd rather play Matt Ryan. Geis or Montgomery? I'd rather play Montgomery. Jalen Samuels or Kareem Hunt non-PPR? Jalen Samuels, certainly. Edelman or Lockett? I think I have Lockett over Edelman by like 1 slot and a half PPR because of the Philly matchup. Let's see here. Good afternoon from Brazil. Oh, my goodness. From Brazil, huh? That's amazing. Sutton or Devontae Parker in a full PPR. Where do I... Okay, we'll come back to that. Give me a second. All right, I'll remember this question. Don't worry. Gallup or Debo full PPR. Gallup or Parker PPR. Okay, so it's almost all the same stuff, right? So as of right now, in a full PPR, probably go Parker. Because I'm hoping for the Gallup touchdown. That's what I'm kind of relying upon. So Parker there. Probably Devo there. As the day progresses, as I hear these weather conditions continue to rise, I begin to doubt the play of Gallup. And in between Devontae Parker and Sutton, I want to play Sutton over Devontae Parker. So that kind of straightens that out. Darnold over Winston, no. Where was that ever? No. The Atlanta defense has been shutting down and allowing 10 points. Winston, turnover machine, high upside with Sam, the man. I'd rather play Winston, honestly. I understand this logic, and if you'd like, play Darnold. Perfectly fine with me, but I'd rather play Winston right now. Wentz or Winston playing Evans and Godwin? Yeah, you should absolutely be playing Winston. Should I do the whole trifecta? Yeah, run the Illuminati triangle, and yeah. Certainly. Mixon or Ertz? Oh, dude, I want to answer that question a little bit. I kind of want to answer that question. Ertz. All right. Anyway, what was that? I don't know. I think there was a little bit of a malfunction. Moving on. I think we have a couple people here. Where are we? Okay. Sunil with the donation says, John Brown, Geis, or Debo? Flex full PPR, Debo, then John Brown, then Geis in that specific order. Yeah, in a full PPR, yeah, Debo, John Brown, then Geis. Moving on. Let's see here. Rocky T says Metcalf or Sutton in a PPR. I'd rather play Sutton. I like Metcalf. I like his upside. I think he's going to be a good play today. I just think Cortland's a little bit more reliable as of right now. DeAndre Payton says, Chris Carson or Brandon Cooks, PPR, thanks. Chris Carson, 100%. Brandon Cooks is coming off of, a 4-week break from double concussions. Chances are he's going to come back and realize just how bad the Rams offense is. And I think, to be honest, Chris Carson is too big of a stud to leave on my bench, even in a full PPR setting. So I'm going to play the crap out of a guy like Chris Carson today, and I'm going to, I'm certainly playing Chris Carson. Not even close. Thank you for the donation. Max M says, DK Metcalf or Jamison Crowder? I'd rather play Crowder, certainly. I like Metcalf again. Not a bad play. I'd just rather play Crowder at this point. Let's see here. Interesting. All right. Where are we at here? Gotta scroll a little bit and it updated randomly. Angelo with a donation says, standard pick 3, Devontae Adams, Lockett, Landry, Robinson, and Crowder. Yeah, I think you answer your own question with the first 3. Devontae Adams, Lockett, and Landry, all 3 of them, those are my favorite 3 of the bunch. I'd leave Crowder and Robinson on the bench. Thank you for the donation, Angelo. Muhammad with a donation says, full PPR Cooper or Devontae Parker? I'd rather play Devontae Parker in the flex. Yeah. Thank you. DeAndre Thompson says, Geis or Sutton in the flex? Sutton. Yeah. Here's the thing about Geis. Sure, he had his touchdown reception that kind of put him over the top last week, but I'm a little concerned about the whole, okay, I caught the ball. I went 40 yards for a touchdown. That's a 10-point boost. I ended up with like 13 points on the week. That means prior to that, my 12 carries on the ground, they only got me 34 yards against a really just not a good defense. The Jets don't have a good defense. It's a little concerning, right? So playing against a team like the Lions, sure, they give up the most points to opposing running backs, but truth be told, they're really not that bad. They could be terrible today, but I still feel like Geis is going to be splitting a little bit here, which kind of devalues him. So I'd rather play Parker in that. I'd rather play Sutton in that setting. Thompson. All right, moving on. I saw a question. Someone was like, would you play Driscoll over Brady? I wouldn't mind it. Not one bit. I don't mind that. Okay, Brooke Robin says, please reevaluate my situation. Beautiful night. Yeah, look, here's the thing. I don't think I'm going to change it, though. Okay, here's the thing. I don't really like Marquise Brown this week. I don't really like Marquise Brown any week. The issue is his volatility. Like, 1 week he shows up and has a good performance. The next week he shows up next week he doesn't even show up. He doesn't take the flight. He's hurt. And then the next week after that he comes back and then he just doesn't do anything. Like, in terms of points, he's just like, all right, here, let's see if I can, how I can do this. Actually, let me adjust this accordingly. I got to click a couple things really quickly. Who is this question? I'm going to get to your question in a second. I just have to clear this. Right here, I have Cobbins. Okay, Fuller. Okay, we'll answer that in a second. So we'll come back to that. We'll keep this up. Okay, so let's do something like this. Okay. Are we looking at the right thing? Actually, let me go back here. Yeah, I think that was the right thing. Yo, why is my... Okay, that works. Okay, so we're looking at Marquise Brown, right? This is the volatility I'm talking about, right? Could have good weeks with good targets or, touchdown upside. Otherwise, kind of just a risky play. Chances are, 100% of the time, it's Jalen Ramsey on his ass. And he's just going to ride him and make sure that he cannot score over the top. That is his number one responsibility, not allow this kid to score. And I think he'll probably be pretty successful at doing so. So I'm just not convinced about the Marquise Brown play. Reevaluating it, I'm still rather probably playing. I probably prefer playing Gallup even with some sort of weather condition. I don't think it'll be that bad. I think a lot of people kind of blow some stuff out of proportions. If you guys remember earlier in the season, I think it was like week 3, everyone came into this chat and all spammed. The Ravens versus Chiefs game is a rain game. What should we do? Blah, right? And it was a complete chaos. And we all decided, okay, you know what? We're not going to play X, Y, or Z receivers, blah, blah, blah. And then next thing you know, I go over there and I sit down on the couch. I turn on Red Zone, and there's no rain. And there wasn't rain for the rest of the game. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing, guys? Like, Jesus. So, I don't know. If the rain's that bad, if someone can confirm that Foxborough right now is a complete mess and we're going to get, 17 inches of snow in the next 2 days, then sure. But I don't know. Right now, I'd rather play Gallup over Marquise Brown. But if you want, again, Brooks, it is your team. You make that final decision. And you do it, you go, what is that quote? Gosh. I got to find the quote now. All right. Aha. What is the quote? Do not go gentle into that good night. There we go, baby. All right, moving on. David Eli the fourth says, Debo, Renfro, or Scarborough. Full PPR. Pick 2. I'd probably go Scarborough and Debo. Thank you for the donation. LJ Aguilar says, Darnold, Josh Allen, wind worries me. Then play Josh Allen. He's been great in the last 6 weeks. 2 touchdowns every single week. Whether it's on the ground, through the air, been very consistent. And if you don't, I think they're both good plays. I think Josh Allen's like my number 12. It's not that big of a difference. It's a 2 spot difference. Just play Josh Allen, be good with it. All right. Where were we at? Browns or Atlanta defense? I don't mind either. Actually, in fact, probably would rather. When I'm looking at the likelihood of Jameis Winston getting sacked or turning over the ball, I like that idea. And then with the Browns being out, a couple defensive linemen because they like to hit people with helmets, probably Atlanta's the way to go there. But I don't know. It's close. The Browns defense, they'll probably make plays. They'll probably force some turnovers themselves. So I think they're both good plays. It's just like chances are that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers score more points, which will just inherently lose you value on that defense. All right, here we go. James, thank you very much. Says, I'm 13 miles away from Gillette. The rain has let up a bit, but they say it's supposed to be pouring at game time. Thank you, James, for the you know what we need? God, I need like somebody on a Skype call. All right, we're gonna go to James in Foxborough next to Gillette Stadium. All right, James, what's the weather? And you're like, guys, and it's just the rain pouring on you. That's what we need, man. That's the next level of this channel. That's the next level. I'm telling you. I see your rankings, but I'm concerned about Mayfield's upside if they just run the ball all day. Contemplating putting in Driscoll. That's not a problem. I don't think it's a problem at all. I think Driscoll's good, and I think Washington's defense is bad. So I think no matter what, he's going to play well. Mike is saying Geis or Scarborough. I'm pretty sure I have Scarborough ahead of Geis, so that's probably where I'm going. Killer Light says, greetings, salutations, Andrew. How you doing today? I've been better. Hilton kind of fucked me this week. I already don't know if I should be starting Kittle. Yeah, don't start Kittle. Just play Andrews. You'll be good to go. Scarborough? Okay, that's a flex question. Kelsey 22. What are you doing? You know better. I've seen you around here. I've seen you around these streets. Steelers defense or Bears defense? 100% Steelers. Not even close. They play Cincinnati. Sosa Bryant, 2-1-3. Steelers defense, 100%. Comic God says, I'm worried about the weather conditions at the Raiders and Jets game. Yep, you're not alone. You're not alone. I promise you are not alone. Otherwise, Jamison Crowder would be my number 6 wide receiver today. because I have full faith that this guy's going to ball out. But unfortunately, we have a little bit of a weather condition over there that's kind of throwing a wrench into everything, huh? Alrighty. Scarborough or Mixon? I'm pretty sure the rankings to the left of me have Scarborough over Mixon. I think that is... I mean, guys, what are we doing? Is it that hard to see? Like, I'm literally max screening my... I don't know. I give up. Maybe you just want to hear me say it. Okay. T.Y. Hilton equals bum. I don't think that's the case. Perhaps you could say T.Y. Hilton injured equals a bum, but I wouldn't 100% say, T.Y. Hilton is a straight up bum. In the next couple of weeks, you'll be able to prove otherwise. Zeke or Carson, full PPR? Zeke. 100% Zeke. Raiders or Bills defense? I'd rather play Bills against Brandon Allen. Miles Sanders. That's a flex question. What else we got here? Also start 49ers D or something like the Saints or Browns. I'd probably rather play the Saints defense this week than the 49ers. Killer of Light. Weatherman at every stadium location. Get on it. Yeah. You know what, dude? We have the budget for it. We're going to bust it out. Don't worry. We'll take care of it. We'll get the camera crews. We'll get the vans. We'll get a person at all. Well, actually, how many games are this week? 13 today? Well, no, the 12th today, at least. So we'll get them all to every single stadium. We'll be fine. BW Fan 32 says standard flex 1, Samuels, Latavius Murray, Hunt, Devontae Parker, Mostert. I don't like Mostert. Not too keen on playing a guy like Latavius Murray over those two. I gotta think about this, actually. It's actually kind of tough. I'm probably going to say play Jalen Samuels this week. Yeah, I'd probably play Jalen Samuels against Cincinnati over the rest of them, VW fan. Let's see here. Kittle or Hollister? Dwelly's on the waivers in case Kittle doesn't go, question mark. Thanks, bud. Kenny, yeah, I think you should just play Hollister and not have to worry about it. I think Hollister's going to be a great play. If you want to play Dwally, you absolutely can. He's still a good tight end play this week. If, in fact, Kittle doesn't go. If Kittle goes, I still don't want to play him. I'm not kidding. I'm actually afraid of his injury, that he could leave midway through the game. And if you're someone that needs the points, or at least a specific amount of points, you need a baseline, Kittle could not, deliver that. He could just leave the game early with an injury if he tries to go. But that's just my thought process on it. Where was this question? I tried to find this one question and I lost it. All right. Gabe Mendoza says, Deebo Samuel, Allen Robinson, Marvin Jones going to sit one. I'd probably sit Marvin Jones. It's hard to sit Marvin Jones, though. He's been so good in the last 2 weeks. Damn. That's tough. That's actually really tough. But I'd probably still sit Marvin Jones. I don't want to, though. Maybe Deebo's... No. We're gonna sit Marvin Jones. Damn. That's tough. That's actually really tough. I don't know why. I feel like Deebo's still a good play, and I feel like Allen Robinson's a great play this week. Yeah, that's tough. So yeah, Deebo and Allen Robinson probably the ways to go, but Marvin Jones, man, I don't know what to do with that. Jason says, Allen or Wentz, Carr on waivers, must-win week. Play Allen. If it's must-win, and it's a 100% that you need to avoid any sort of, BS, Wentz has his entire offense out this week. Carr is in a weather game where it's, 17-mile-per-hour winds and potential rainfall. Allen, perfectly fine, but in a tough matchup against a good defense. So between the three, I'd rather just probably play Allen and throw him in there and hope for the best. All right. Let's see here. I swear I saw a post that I wanted to answer, and now I lost it. All right, someone's like, Ingram's out at tight end, Dwelly, Eifert, or Boyle. I mean, if Kittle's not playing, I'd rather play Dwelly, but otherwise, get Dallas Goedert? No, I don't know if that's available, or probably not. That's why you're not mentioning it, but Hawaiian King Kong, I'd probably go with Dwelly, then Eifert, then Nick Boyle, in that order. Even though Boyle's been good in the past, but I'd probably still play Dwelly and an Eifert over him. Okay, where are we at? Andrew for president. Thank you for being you. Interesting. That's the thing. So, I can imagine it, right? I'm in the White House. I'm sitting, and maybe I'm a narcissist for imagining this. I'm sitting in the Oval Office. I'm sitting there, and on my desk, I get a couple papers, and I got to, review them, and they're literally starting sits for fantasy. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to run this week. This, all right, and I sign it, take the picture, hand it off to my secretary. Done. Next. All right, let's see here. Nathan says Steelers defense or Bills? Steelers, 100%. Steelers are my number one defense of the week. 100%. Just dropped in to see the condition of Kittle. Starter sit. McLaurin, that's a Fox question. Hey, Andrew Darnold or Mayfield? Standard? Mayfield, 100%. 100. No problem with that. Foles or Wentz? Go Foles. Bobby. Okie dokie, guys. It's 9:20. Oh, my God. I want to go back to sleep, dude. Jesus. All right, Martin, you got to relax, dude. I got shit to do, all right? You can't just, spam. Relax, dude. I'll get to you. Does it say? Why do I have Tannehill over Driscoll? Because I do? I feel like the offense is just going to play better. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. We're just gonna see. I don't know, man. We gotta play some games. I don't know what okay, here we go. Let's play some games here. I'm kind of bored. I know you guys want your questions answered, but I'm so bored. I don't know what it is. Okay, really quickly. Jason was saying flex Adams, Debo, or Tyrell Adams. Devontae Adams, 100%. Yeah, I'd have a hard time leaving Adams on my bench. He's a stud. And he's going to prove it today once again against Mr. Richard Sherman. He's gonna prove why Richard Sherman has lost a step. Just wait. Standard pick 1, Crowder, Parker, Tyrell Williams. Thanks. In a standard league, probably playing Devontae Parker today. VW fan. Tom says help, LOL. Okay, Tom. If I look at your question when I scroll above, and it's a flex question, we're going to have a problem, dude. All right, Tom. Hollywood or Harry? Hollywood. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. But look, yeah. I understand the N'Keal Harry play, right? Because, okay, Philip Dorsett might be out. There's Mohamed Sanu out. N'Keal Harry's going to take that step forward. But it's weather conditions that scare me. So you probably, you just play Marquise Brown, because I expect Marquise Brown to even have a better game than N'Keal Harry anyway. Any concern on Lockett limited like TY was? Potentially. There's just always a chance. I mean, look, he's coming off of a bye week, right? If it was that bad, he wouldn't have. Let me see here. If I'm not mistaken, he limitedly practiced all week long. So I don't think, unless he actually missed the whole week. Okay, here we go. Let's look at this practice report, shall we? Where's Mr. Tyler Lockett? Jesus Christ, their whole team is on their injury report. This is actually the biggest injury report I've seen in such a long time. They have 20 players on their injury report. Damn, that's actually insane. All right, where's Tyler Lockett? Russell Wilson's dealing with a hamstring injury. Interesting. So is Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon has an ankle injury. All right, where the hell is Tyler Lockett? Tyler Lockett limited practice the whole week. Shin. Is there a potential that they shorten his usage? Sure. But can I guess that to be the case? No. I don't know what their head coach is thinking. I don't know exactly the extent of his injury. I know that it's a contusion on his shin, which is a hematoma, and that is it. And it hurts to run with that. Trust me. I have experienced it. Let's see here. Pivot to John Brown or McLaurin since Debo is questionable. Debo's questionable, but he's going to play. He's had a shoulder injury the whole week, but he's been limited the whole week as well. I think he missed Wednesday practice because they didn't play any, like Emmanuel Sanders, Kittle, Breida, and him, Debo, missed Wednesday. So they just wanted to make sure everybody was healthy, and they just all were in the trainer's room, pretty much having a practice in there. But I'd still play Debo, but if you're trying to pivot, you go with John Brown. Let's see here. A couple more questions. Metro Boomin says 49ers D or Falcons defense? Should we drop 49ers D? Why would you drop 49ers D? No, I'd play 49ers D. I understand the the intrigue on playing the Falcons, but 49ers D has been too good this year. Like sometimes, sure, it's close, but I feel like they're just too good of a defense to drop. Yeah, they have too much talent. They cause too many turnovers. They cause too much havoc in general to drop them or even not play them this week. Thoughts on Benny Snell? Yeah, if they get ahead early, he'll get a couple touches, maybe get like 10 rushes for like 50 yards. But I don't think he's going to touch the ball very much this week. Again, he's coming off of a knee injury where he had, his knee scoped out surgery. So yes, he's been out for a couple weeks, similar to Jalen Samuels was. But I don't expect him to be like a huge contributor this week. How did you get into fantasy football? Did you play in college football, high school? Yeah, I played high school football. College football is a different monster. Had a couple offers for D2s, but I'm like, brain damage, please no. And they were in like North Dakota. I don't know if you live in North Dakota, but I don't want to go to North Dakota. I'd rather stay in California and go to college out here. It's so much easier. Andrew, Raiders defense or Broncos defense today? That's a good question. Honestly, I'm more inclined to play the Broncos defense this week. D.D. Westbrook or Tyler Boyd? I'm pretty sure I'd rather play D.D. Westbrook. That's why Tyler Boyd's not on the list today. I don't really trust Tyler Boyd against that Steelers defense. I think Finley's going to throw some picks today, and they're just going to run the ball with Mixon and get stuffed the entire game, so I don't think it's going to be fun with them. So I'd rather play D.D. and Conley over Tyler Boyd this week. Mixon or Tevin Coleman? I'd rather play Tevin Coleman. Russell Wilson or Matt Ryan? I'd rather play Matt Ryan, right? I'm pretty sure it says it next to me somewhere next to it. Yeah, I swear it's like right there. It's like over there. Up there. Right. Oh. I think that's a good angle right there. Moving on. How tall are you, Andrew? Oh, Jesus Christ, what is this? I'm 6'1". This is an AMA. Ask me anything pretty much now at this point. How long have you rocked the beard, man? Shit, dude. I want to say 4 years. 4 years, 5 years, maybe. It's kind of all blurred. But yeah, probably like 4 years. Do you like Miles Sanders this week? No, Howard. Yeah, absolutely. I think I have Miles Sanders. Where is he? Miles Sanders, my number 20. Yeah, my number 20 back. I like him there. I don't mind him there at all. Panda Man says John Brown, Marquise Brown, Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton. Pick 4. Okay, John Brown, Deebo Samuel, Marquise Brown, Terry McLaurin. Those 4. Those are the 4 that I want. In that order. And we'd probably go Slayton, then Sterling Shepard after. Slayton's like kind of like, let's see what he does this week, and then we'll kind of move on from there. Waller or Hollister? I'm pretty sure I have Hollister over Waller this week. Please help brother. Gurley, Lindsey, Sanders, Samuels. Pick 3 half PPR. Yeah, certainly. Gurley, Lindsey, Samuels. Good to go. Let's see here. Matt Gay or Joey Sly? I'd rather play Matt Gay this week. Who has a better floor between Dak and Baker? Probably Baker. Yeah, probably Baker. At this point, if all these weather conditions are really starting to turn around, then we got some problems. I feel that as a collegiate athlete, figured with your knowledge, had some sort of experience. North Dakota, yeah. North Dakota is cold? Yeah, North Dakota, oh God. No, I don't want to go to North Dakota. Sorry. No, not doing it. It's not fun. And they were going to make me play center. I don't want to play center because I'm too short to play any other position for the offensive line. So I was like, nope, not doing it. I'm not going to play center. 6'1", 400 pounds. What the fuck, dude? Hello? How dare you, dude? I'm sitting over here at a nice, lean 255. Fuck yourself, Jorge. Literally, dude. I'm never answering another one of your questions. You're done, bud. I'll remember this name, dude. I'm going to screenshot this shit right now. Boom, done. You're done, buddy. Get the fuck out of here. Wait, hold on. Wait, what was that? Andrew's dating site. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Mark. These dudes are fucking asking me all these weird-ass questions. Crappy weather everywhere. GG. Correct. That's true. That's 100% true. Did Miles Sanders get hurt? You haven't literally talked about him. What? Where have you been, Nick? I talked about him for like 30 minutes today. I literally said that there is nobody else healthy in that offense. Right tackle Lane Johnson's even hurt. So there's no Aguilar. There's no Jeffrey. There's no Jordan Howard. What does that mean? They play Seattle in Philly. There's going to be weather conditions. They run the ball. And J.J. is garbage. There's a reason nobody wanted to sign him. And there's a reason why the Eagles only signed him because, well, he knows the offense. And doesn't take too long to install there. Otherwise, Boston Scott had more carries. J.J. didn't even play last week. Pretty much did nothing. So, again, Sanders is a good play. What do you mean I didn't talk about him? I literally talked about him so many times today already. Worried about Matt Ryan's playoff schedule. Should I get Wentz or Tannehill? I'd probably go with Wentz. But if his team continues to be hurt, you just rather play Tannehill at that point. Let's see. Did I see anybody else come in? No. Okay. How do I feel about Deontay Johnson this week? I'm 50-50. I'd rather just play James Washington over him. He has a very good upside considering the matchup. I think there's always a chance that he could score on a big play, especially against Cincinnati's defense. But I don't know. I feel like he's not worth the play this week. Typically not worth the play. Hollister or risk Kittle / Dwelly? I'd rather play Hollister. Let's see here. Okay, Jorge, really do me a favor, okay? When you say your board, that's grammatically doesn't work. It's your. Like YOU apostrophe RE. Right? Let's fix this, please. Come on. Gotta be better than that. Not your board. Like, how the fuck does that make sense? Francisco says, Darnold or Wentz? That's the big money question of the day, right? Darnold with the weather conditions, Wentz with weather conditions. Wentz without an offense, Darnold with a shittier offense, right? At this point, Francisco, I'm probably playing Darnold over Wentz. That's probably the way to go. How do you feel about Cobb against the Pats? I don't mind him at all. I think I have him as a top 30 something. So, should be fine. Ocho Cinco or T.O.? I'd rather have Terrell Owens. I don't think Ocho Cinco was that good. Maybe it's because he played with Carson Palmer his whole career, and Carson Palmer didn't, really get going until a little while there. But yeah, I'd rather have T.O., to be honest. If I have to, have one of them in their rookie season, yeah, T.O.'s probably has more longevity too. Let's see here. Where are we at? There was a couple things that I saw here. Hey, Andrew, do you think about... do you think Antonio Brown will be signed this season? Probably not. Yeah, probably not. I think at this point, the chances are that all of it is just noise, and it's not going to go in the right direction. So it's probably not going to go his way. He's just... I don't know. I don't think anybody wants to deal with him. That's mainly the issue at this point. Oh, man. Some of you, all right, this is what we have to do really quickly. Give me a second, guys. Just make sure everything's there. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, what are we doing? Okay. That's fine. Haram, you can go fuck yourself. Who else is in this chat? Let's see. You don't expect Woods to play? No, I expect him to play. I just don't expect him to play well. Hasn't played really well all season long. Pick up someone else on the list. I mean, at this point, I think I have Woods at my number 38 wide receiver, something like that. I don't know. I just don't trust Jared Goff. That's the biggest thing. And I feel like, okay, Kupp, we kind of have to play him at this point considering what he's done. And Cooks coming back has, always has the chance of catching one pass that'll go over the top of the defense and score. So that's the only hope that I have between those two. So at this point, I'm chilling with at least having Woods kind of sitting at a low end wide receiver 3. Where are we at here? Poner Kills All Trolls says Jamison Crowder, N'Keal Harry, Slayton, or Marquise Brown. I'm probably playing Jamison Crowder still. And then Marquise Brown, then Slayton, then N'Keal Harry in that order. Bo Jackson or Deion Sanders. How is that even fair? One's a legendary running back and the other one played corner/wide receiver. Don't think it really goes in the right way. They're both two-sport athletes, right? Both of them play baseball, so they're both monsters in their own respective, but just feel like they played at different times, different games, different positions. It's kind of hard to tell. That's the thing. When people say like the greatest football player of all time, you really can't determine that. There's so much. Okay, what is this? Jordan says, I don't trust Matt Ryan, weeks 13 and 14. Sam Darnold, Driscoll, Fitz, Foles, Jimmy G are available to pick up. Who would you go with? All right. Let's go see, because I think Sam Darnold doesn't have a good record. Let's see here. I don't think he has a good schedule. I think he plays like Pittsburgh in one of those weeks, right? That's 13, 14, 15. Plays the Jets in 14, Ravens in 15. That's not terrible. What are your other options? Driscoll. All right, let's see what the Lions have to deal with. I think the Lions have to play like the Chicago Bears like twice or something. Just not fun. They have to play against the Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's not bad at all, actually. Because Tampa Bay's terrible and the Vikings have a washed secondary. I think Foles has a very good... Let's see here. Where's Nick Foles? Foles has Oakland and Atlanta. Dude, that's what I want. I want to play Foles, dude. Well, actually, no, you were saying 13 and 14. He has... Yikes. He has Tampa Bay and... No, sorry. 14 and 15? Which one were you saying? 13, 14. Yeah. He has Tampa Bay and the Chargers. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. I like Driscoll and Foles probably more than Darnold, but to an extent. Because still Darnold's been playing better. And then you said Jimmy G. Let me see here. What are these 49ers, shall we? 49ers have the Ravens. No, I don't want Jimmy G. I'd much rather have Driscoll or Foles, and if I had to pick one, I'd probably play Driscoll in 13 and 14. Thank you for the donation, Jordan. Okay, let's see here. Where are we at? But that's all assuming that a bunch of stuff goes in the right way. Or everything kind of stays suit, which typically never happens in the NFL. Everything kind of shifts always. What are the chances of Gurley missing weeks 15 and 16 due to health potential? Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. If in fact, which I'm assuming, right? When we look at the Rams' schedule upcoming, they're going to lose a lot of these games. And when they do, they're going to shut them down early, I think. So get ready for Malcolm Brown, Darrell Henderson kind of end of the season. Because they're going to lose to the Ravens. They'll beat the Cardinals. Then they'll lose to the Seahawks. And they'll probably, at that point, be mathematically eliminated from making a run at the wild card. Because the Vikings and the Seahawks both will have probably clinched by then. So at that point, it'll probably be dead in the water for the last couple games. Now, whether they decide to play him or not is a different conversation. And something that probably McVay will have to decide when the moment comes. But I'm sure they've already decided that in their minds. We'll just have to wait. But yeah, I think if you're a Gurley owner, you certainly want to have Malcolm Brown or as your backup ready to kind of throw him in there and figure it out. Michael was saying, I appreciate it, Michael. Michael's saying everybody smash the like button. I would appreciate that if everyone could also do that. That would be awesome. If that's not the case, then we'll just turn off the stream right now. What? All right. Eric says Miles Sanders as a starter today or Jalen Samuels. In a PPR, I'd rather play Jalen Samuels. Yeah. Look, Miles Sanders was a starter last week, right? Still wasn't great. Sure, he was playing against New England's defense, but New England's defense wasn't, that. I mean, they're impressive last week, but they're not that good. Sure, they've looked good, but they haven't played very, many teams. So as of right now, I'd rather play Samuels in a PPR against Cincinnati. Thank you for the donation, Eric. Jonathan says, I always do. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate that. Who's your defensive player, Andrew? If you play one, I need to win badly. I don't play DFS. IDP. I don't play individual defensive player. I haven't played IDP since 2012. Yes, it's been 7 years since I've played IDP. And back then, I remember The best players in an IDP in 2012 were like Patrick Willis, Jared Allen was pretty damn good. DeMarcus Ware was pretty good back then. Who else was good in an IDP in 2012? Somebody took like Nnamdi Asomugha way too early in my draft. I was like, what is going on? You have single-handedly brought me back into the playoff conversation. Well, sounds good. Hopefully we can get you the chip. That's all that matters. Either first or you're last. That's how it works, right? Ricky Bobby. I don't know. Let's go see. Let me... for the guy who's asking IDP, right? I'm actually curious on how the breakdown looks right now in IDP leagues. All right, so let's look at 2019. Let's look at weeks 1 through 11, and let's look at IDP, who is the best player. So Jordan Hicks is the number 1 player in IDP right now with 11 games. And then Shorbert, which is the Cleveland middle backer, Jamal Adams is up there. Wow. These guys average so many points. How many guys are defensive ends that play here? Let's see. Chandler Jones, TJ Watt. Not too many defensive ends, huh? I mean, they're considered outside backers, but still, they come off the edge far too much not to be considered. Logan Ryan? Really? Has that many points? What is this? I can't even determine. Yeah, no. There's no way. I won't be able to tell you where the value lies. I would just tell you, here's the best players, run with one of them. Because this doesn't, it's just like so weird. Like the fact that Aaron Donald's not even in, like he's not even in the top 30. Like Jesus, doesn't get that many stats because they double team him. But still, you would think the better players have a better chance of scoring. But I guess it's just all about stats. So middle backers that make tackles pretty much. Northwest says Miles Sanders or DK Metcalf in a standard. Yeah, probably Miles Sanders. I like DK Metcalf a lot this week. I mean, top 24, but if he doesn't score a touchdown, it really doesn't go anywhere. I feel like Miles Sanders and the tight ends are going to have to heavily contribute, which they probably will. Ajayi to go off? I doubt it. John Jackson, I doubt it. Happy holidays. Thank you very much, Enforce. Let me see here. Okay, all right, relax. Jesus, what the hell was that? Okay. Huh. Alrighty. Where is this? Interesting. Okay, what are we at? 9:44. Very nice. Let's go ahead. Let me click a couple buttons here. I have to refresh, make sure Patreon is looking clean. It is. And then we can get back to the live chat. All right, here we go. I'm betting Cup and playing Sutton, Metcalf, and Tevin Coleman. I don't really trust him in the Rams offense. I have Golden Tate on my bench. I'd rather play over Cup. Thanks. As always. Okay, sounds good, Jesse. Hi, Andrew. Pick 3, half PPR. Robin. Okay, look, it's a flex. Look, here's the thing, guys. This is why I don't answer flex questions. Let me explain to you guys. The reason I don't answer flex questions is because I have a Patreon. To the people that are subscribed to my Patreon, they get flex questions answered because they contribute to the channel on a monthly basis with a monetary value. If I was to answer everyone's flex questions, right, I would basically be pulling the middle finger to all 103 people that are my Patreon supporters, that some of you I see in the chat right now, right? So for those who are asking, I don't understand why this guy doesn't answer flex questions, because I literally have to not answer them because there's other people that I promised would be the only ones to get it answered. And that's how it works. As much as I'd like to answer them, I just can't. Daniel says, sent you a message on Patreon. That a baby. Let's see it. Why did you send me a message, Daniel? I see it. Okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna answer that after the stream because that doesn't have to do with anything this week. That's for playoffs, so I'll answer that after, Daniel. But yeah, I'll be for sure to message you back, literally as soon as the stream ends. Kittle or Hollister? I'd rather play Kittle. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning, Fresh Prince. I feel you make your money. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's literally it. Chris Collinsworth or Booger? Neither. Please God, none of them. Please no. You think Alshon Jeffrey will play next week? Also Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard done? Question mark. No, I don't think Jordan Howard's done. He's a stinger, right? He hasn't been cleared for contact, but he's been practicing at a limited amount, right? So he's just been doing individual drills on the side. I'm hoping he comes back. So that's the hope. But I think hopefully they'll be healthy. Look, here's the thing. If Alshon Jeffrey plays this week, the likelihood of him being healthy next week, probably not high. So I'm hoping he just doesn't play this week so that in the upcoming matches where they play Miami, Washington, and the Giants, that he just feasts, you know? Andrew, half PPR, Russell Gage or Chris Conley? I'd probably play Chris Conley today. Russell Gage is not a terrible play. The issue is, like, he's third on the not even on the totem pole, like chopping block. He's third on the totem pole, but he's behind two studs. Right? Like, what are the chances that Russell Gage is going to catch one and take it to the house? Sure, like, he gets a decent amount of play considering Mohamed Sanu's gone and there's no more, what's it called? Hooper or Freeman, but still, it's just like, I don't know if I can really trust a Russell Gage right now. So I'd probably rather play Conley. I've just seen more from Conley in general. Where is it? Griffin or Hollister? I'd rather play Hollister. I know Griffin got that major contract, which is, I mean, that's the end of Chris Herndon. Mark Ingram or Jalen Samuels? I'd probably play Mark Ingram in a half, but in a full PPR, I'd like to go Jalen Samuels in a full PPR. But Mark Ingram's touchdown upside, I mean, it's too sweet to pass up on. How do I become a part of Patreon? I'm pretty sure the link is in the description of the video. Do you think Devontae Adams will score a touchdown, his first touchdown versus San Francisco, or do I start Devontae Parker over him in a PPR? Listen, I have a hard time not playing Devontae Adams. This is a guy that was a 16-point stud last year every single game and did not have anything less. For majority, I think 14 of the 16 weeks, he had like 10 plus points, and a lot of them were huge performances because he's a touchdown fiend. Because in the last 3 years, he scored 10 plus touchdowns each of the last 3 years. I feel like Devontae Adams is he's bound for having one of these breakout games. Parker's the safe play, but I still think both of them will have similar yard counts. So I feel like Adams just has the upside overall. That's why I would rather go with him. Let's see here. Where are we at? Fresh Prince says Montgomery, Singletary, or gamble with Geis. In a full PPR, I understand, like, there's no way I'm playing Singletary. Montgomery and Geis are my two. Now, I'd probably rather play Montgomery because of the matchup against the Giants, but Geis just has just as good of a matchup. The question is, how much usage are we going to see of a guy like Chris Thompson and Adrian Peterson in comparison to Geis? And or Montgomery with Tariq Cohen. They both have guys that'll steal receiving work from them. The question is, how much work will they get on the ground respectively? I just feel more comfortable playing a Montgomery this week. All right, let's see here. Who's safer, higher ceiling, Josh Allen or Drew Brees? I think Drew Brees has the floor and the ceiling this week. I think he has the floor and the ceiling. C-Max says Wentz or Foles. Foles. Got it. I'd rather play Foles over Wentz today. C-Mac. Jeremy says, why not Hunt over Ingram in full PPR? Ingram has scored, 10 touchdowns in 10 weeks? It's kind of hard to pass that up. In a full PPR, I don't mind playing Hunt, But I would not be able to play him over Ingram. I couldn't find myself doing that. I just feel like Ingram is just too valuable. Now, Hunt in the last 2 weeks, 6 catches, 7 catches, 40 some odd yards. So he gets like 12 points every week. He's got that safe floor of 12 points. Perfectly fine. You can run that and be good with it. But as of right now, I'd rather play Ingram. By the way, my rankings are half PPR, so I don't know where you got this notion that I was 100%. Anyway, game time: 9-2, 8-3, 7-4, 6-5 fantasy football. Okay, if those are your records, then congratulations, John. Those are awesome. I have I think, how many is it? I have 4 8-3 teams. People say that they have 11-0 teams. I can't believe that shit. It's insane. It's insane. Michelle Scarborough, listen, dude, you've come to the right place. I'm a Sony Michelle lover, and that's where we're going to go with today. Baker or Winston? I need bigger upside. That's tough. Honestly, the reason I have Baker lower than as low as he is right now, is because of the running game. It's because of guys like Hunt and Chubb that could potentially steal value off the ground. Tampa Bay really doesn't have a running game. Never really have had, but the thing is, are you willing to play a guy like Winston against that defense? For all they've done in the last couple of weeks, are you afraid of it? Personally, I'm probably playing Winston. I'm rolling him out there. Does he have the higher upside? I think Baker could finish as the number 1 quarterback this week, but it requires Odell Beckham having 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's pretty much it. That's the sketchy part of it. So, needs bigger upside? Probably Baker. The safe floor is Winston at this point. I'm second in my league. Have doubts of Kupp and Ridley. Still available. Should I drop Kupp in a 6-person league? If this is a, decision that'll win your, let's say, for example, only 4 teams make your lead and you're in 5th place and you need a huge play this week, I'd rather play Ridley over Kupp. Do you drop him? In a 6-man league, every team is an all-star team, so you can certainly drop Kupp and get away with it. So you probably have better receivers than Kupp, so, I wouldn't mind it. John Brown or Renfro? I'd probably play John Brown. Kittle or Olsen? If Kittle plays, I'd rather play him over Olsen. Winston or Rodgers? I'd probably play Winston over Rodgers. I will take 150 and 2 from Odell. Dude, Mark, I agree. 100%. Curtis Samuel, Josh Gordon. I'd rather play Curtis Samuel. Waller or Hollister? I'd rather play Hollister. Kittle or Olsen? We already figured that out off of, but we're on a delay, so you haven't seen it or haven't heard it yet. Fournette, Jacobs, Jones. Standard 2. Yeah. I still probably play Jacobs and Jones in a standard. Let's see here. Thanks for nothing! Exclamation point. All right, no problem, dude. Anytime. Maybe if you just typed your question, South Deering, 400 music, I maybe would have answered it there, but yikes. Let's see here. Should I put James Washington over Moore or Crowder? I wouldn't. Moore's been ridiculous. Gets 10 plus targets a game. Sees a lot of work. Probably will continue. Amongst all wide receivers in the last 3 weeks, I think he's the most targets next to Michael Thomas. So Moore's just been feasting. So is Crowder. So I'd probably just leave both those in the lineup. Let's see here. San Francisco or Atlanta rest of playoffs. Already locked in. For defense, I'd probably play San Francisco. I don't think this Atlanta BS holds up for very long. Let's see here. KJ203 says Carson, Ingram, Chubb. Pick 2. Chubb and Carson. That's what I would go with this week in a full PPR. Chubb and Carson. Galladay or Tyrell Williams? Galladay. 49ers or Browns defense? Probably 49ers, but I don't mind Browns. because, Fitzpatrick always has the potential to make, mistakes. Hunt, Samuels, Mixon, full PPR. Pick 2. Probably Hunt and Samuels. Midway Mac. I need someone to get a lot of points. Should I play Washington, Moore, or Crowder? Oh, it's Washington over Moore or Crowder. I don't know if Washington's that guy, though. Lindsey or Mixon, Lindsey. Should I put Washington in standard, though? Okay, if you're 100%, if you cannot stand playing a guy like Jamison Crowder, put in Washington. I wouldn't suggest that, but again, you are the GM of your team. If you prefer that, go for it. I don't think he's a bad play. I just feel like he doesn't have as much upside. He always could have a monster week. I'm hoping he does. I mean, Juju's out. Someone's got to step up, right? Bench Cup for Chark and Moore. I don't mind that. Chark for certain, right? I'd rather play DJ Chark over Cooper Kupp this week. And DJ Moore has been far more consistent the last 3 weeks, so I don't mind that either. But personally, Kupp is probably, he sits at 10 for a reason. It's because he's kind of earned it at this point. Edelman, Parker, or Metcalf? Edelman. And then Parker, then Metcalf, in that order. All right, let's scroll down a little bit more. Ravens or Patriots defense? With the weather, probably Patriots. But I feel like Jared Goff's going to throw 3 picks tomorrow. I'm playing Ravens defense in a lot of my leagues, but that's just because I have them. If I had the Patriots defense, would I rather play Patriots defense? I honestly probably would rather play the Ravens. But I don't know. It depends. I just feel like Jared Goff's garbage. Tate Woods or Marquise Brown? I'd rather play Tate, Keith. All right. Trying to get to the last. Griffin or Witten? Griffin. Should I look for alternatives? Curtis Samuel, week 15-16. They play the Seahawks and Colts. And Kyle Allen is sketchy AF. Yeah, you can find alternatives, but I think Curtis Samuel's still decent there. Did you talk about the weather, the QBs I'm worried about? I have Carr in the rain, also Wentz with no wideouts, FML. Yeah, at this point, I'd rather just probably it's hard. I'd probably rather just stick with Carr, and hope to God that the weather disappears in New York. But if it doesn't, then that's a big woof. Because Wentz without wide receivers doesn't even look like an offense, dude. But sometimes he doesn't even target wide receivers. DK or Odell standard? Odell. Yeah. I'd rather play Odell. Northwest. Bo or Montgomery half PPR? I think I have Bo above Montgomery. So, yeah. And that's my rankings to the left of me. So, yeah, that's what I'd go with. How do you feel about San Francisco's defense versus the Packers? I think they'll be fine. I don't think it's going to be too high scoring of a game. Props for Goff being garbage, Andrew. I know, bro. He's so bad. Holy shit. It's literally the Super Bowl hangover. Happens to a lot of players. Happened to Matt Ryan. Happened to Cam Newton. And now Jared Goff is the next victim. Love the channel. Half PPR. Flex question. Yikes. Sorry. Hill or Jones? Shit. Probably Ronald Jones. Brian Hill didn't, really help me out last week. And I feel like he's not going to continue to help me out. A lot of other running backs were getting a lot of snaps last week too. Baker or Foles? Baker. Kareem or Jalen Samuels in a standard? I'd probably rather play Jalen Samuels. Good luck, y'all. Baker or Foles? Yeah, Baker. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It's 10 o'clock. I appreciate you guys spending your time here today. Until tomorrow, we'll figure it out. See you guys.